All right, so let's get right into it. We hear so much about the incredible power of AI agents, right? But how do you actually build one you can trust? An agent that doesn't just look cool in a demo, but actually works reliably out in the real world. Well, today, we're going to break down the engineering stack that's built to do exactly that.
I mean, just think about it for a second. What if you had an AI that could be your own personal intern, researcher, and assistant, all rolled into one? An AI that doesn't just spit out answers, but actually takes action. It could be synthesizing super complex research for you, handling customer requests, or even writing and refactoring code. That right there is the incredible promise of AI agents.
And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. This is happening right now. Companies are already building AI copilots straight into their apps, creating these amazing personalized search experiences and automating the whole shebang from customer support all the way to generating code. The potential here to just crank up efficiency and invent completely new products is just massive.
But, and there's always a but, right? Here comes the reality check. Because yeah, the hype is absolutely real, but so are the problems. What happens when that brilliant AI assistant of yours starts, I don't know, making stuff up, or it gets stuck in a loop, or just completely does the wrong thing?
And this is the core challenge that developers are running into. These agents can feel like total black boxes, right? When they break, trying to figure out why they broke is just incredibly hard. And then trying to scale them up for production? That's a whole other beast. So the real question becomes, how do you get from a cool prototype to a system you can actually depend on?
And that, my friends, is where LangChain comes into the picture. See, it's not just another library you download. It's a whole platform, and it's designed specifically for this idea of agent engineering. Think of it as the playbook for tackling that messy reality we were just talking about.
So what is agent engineering? Well, at its heart, it's really just about taking all those solid, reliable software engineering principles we've used for years and applying them to this new world of AI agents. It's about building agents you can actually steer, that you can test like crazy, and that you can deploy with real confidence. It's all about making them predictable and, dependable. Okay, so the stack basically breaks down into two big pieces. First up, you've got the open source frameworks. This is what you use for the actual building part. And then part two is the LangSmith platform, which handles, well, everything else, the entire lifecycle. We're talking debugging, testing, and actually shipping your agent. So let's dig into those building blocks. When you're kicking off a new project, you've got this really fundamental choice to make. It's like, okay, do I need to get something up and running super fast, or do I need total fine-grained control over every single move my agent makes? LangChain basically gives you two paths to go down. On one side, you've got the classic LangChain framework. This thing is fantastic for shipping quickly. It's packed with pre-built agent types. But on the other side, you've got LangGraph. This is your go-to when you need to build something totally custom with low-level control over the agent's workflow. It's really the difference between speed and, let's say, surgical precision.
And that kind of control is just so powerful. With LangGraph, you're not stuck with a single agent. You can build these complex, multi-agent systems where they all work together. And what's absolutely crucial is you can add human-in-the-loop checks. So the agent has to literally pause and ask for your approval before, say, it sends a really sensitive email or spends company money. It can maintain context, remember things, and even show you its reasoning in real time. This is how you start to build real trust in these systems.
So bottom line, whether you need to go fast or you need to build something completely custom, LangChain gives you the open source toolkit you need for real agent engineering.
Okay, so you've built your agent. You're done, right? Not even close. See, building it is really just step one. The real work, the thing that separates a cool weekend project from a valuable product, is making that agent dependable. And that's exactly what LangSmith is for.
Once your agent is built, the real work begins. I love this line because it's just so true. Honestly, anyone could probably hack together a simple agent in an afternoon. But getting it to work reliably, at scale, day in and day out, that's where the real engineering kicks in. LangSmith tackles this whole problem with a three-step process that's basically a continuous improvement loop. Step 1, observability. You've got to see exactly what your agent is doing. Step 2, evaluation. You need to test it to improve its quality. And step 3, deployment. You need to ship it on infrastructure that's actually built for agents. All right, let's start with observability. Agents can create these really dense, complex chains of thought. And without a tool to see inside, it's that black box problem all over again. LangSmith tracing basically gives you X-ray vision.
It lets you see every single step the agent took, so you can pinpoint exactly where things went wrong and debug, well, a whole lot faster.
Okay, next up is evaluation. Here's the tricky part with LLMs, right? They're non-deterministic. They don't always give you the same answers, so your standard software tests just don't work. Langsmith gets around this by letting you build test sets, maybe from your actual production data, and then score your agent's performance. It's how you go from, it's okay, to, wow, this is great.
And finally, we've got deployment. See, agents are not like your typical web app. Their jobs can run for a really long time. We're talking hours, even days, and they have to remember stuff along the way. Your standard infrastructure just isn't designed for that kind of thing. Langsmith gives you one-click deployment with all the stuff you need. Memory, auto-scaling, security, the works.
Okay, so that all sounds good in theory, but what about the real world? How are top engineering teams actually using this stuff? Let's look at the proof.
First off, just look at the numbers. 90 million monthly downloads. That is a huge signal from the developer community. It tells you that these tools are solving a very, very real problem.
And if that's not enough, how about over 100,000 GitHub stars? We're not talking about some small niche project here. This is one of the most popular and trusted platforms in the entire AI space, period.
But honestly, here's what really matters: the real-world impact. We're seeing Klarna cut down the time it takes to solve customer issues by 80%. You've got Elastic helping over 20,000 customers respond to alerts faster. And Rakuten is empowering its employees across more than 70 businesses to create their own agents. These aren't just small improvements. These are huge, tangible wins.
And this quote from a principal software engineer at a major company really says it all. He says, LangChain is streets ahead. LangGraph sits the foundation for how we can build and scale AI workloads. LangChain delivers an out-of-the-box solution to iterate quickly, debug immediately, and scale effortlessly. I mean, wow, that's about as strong an endorsement as you can get.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's pretty clear. The next chapter in building with LLMs is agentic. We're moving way beyond simple chatbots. The future is all about creating these agents that can actually reason, plan, and take action in the world.
So look, the tools for reliable agent engineering, they actually exist now. For the first time, we have a complete end-to-end toolkit to take an agent from a cool idea all the way to a production-grade system. So really, the only question left is, what are you going to build?